Hey, what is up, everybody? It's your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to a top 10 list. This is a top 10 list of the records in sports that will never be broken. And this was kind of hard because there are a lot of records that would never be broken for a myriad of reasons. And so I had to narrow down. I had like a list of like 15 to 20, and I had to narrow it down to the final 10. I do give an honorable mention in this video, but it was tough. It was tough to come down to the 10 records that will never be broken. So, and I kind of cheated on one because I put two together, but that's okay. You'll find out soon. But let's get to it. The top 10 records that will never be broken. Number 10, Joe DiMaggio's 56 game hitting streak. It's still, to this day, one of the iconic records of Major League Baseball. 56 games Joe DiMaggio played in that he went to the plate and got a hit in 56 consecutive games. That's never been done before ever. The closest one, I believe, is Pete Rose, who did 44 games, 8 away. But Joe DiMaggio got a hit in 56 games playing for the New York Yankees. Now, why would this um, never be broken? Well, in the day and age of Major League Baseball, where they look to hit home runs more than just get a hit, where the pitchers are obviously throwing harder and faster than they were in Joe DiMaggio's time, and it's so specialized that you may see three different pitchers. If you're a batter, you can see three different pitchers in the same game. So I don't think this 56 game hitting streak will ever be broken. I don't know. I think it'll be one of the records that we'll be talking about. You know, um, I mean, I won't be talking about it because I might be dead. But 50 years from now, in 2074, we'll still be talking about Joe DiMaggio's 56 game hitting streak, which would be amazing. So that's why it's number 10 on my list of records that will never be broken. Number 9, Hack Wilson and his 191 RBIs in one season. Going back to the DiMaggio thing, it's kind of like the same reason why Hack Wilson would hold this record forever. The specialization and things like that. I mean, there's, you know, and while there are more focus on home runs and launching and all that bullshit, it's just hard to be consistent enough, I believe, for one team to have one person have 191 RBIs in one season. Especially nowadays when these knuckleheads want to put like their best hitters and their most powerful hitters, you know, instead of in the middle of the lineup where they should be at the top of the lineup because they can get on base, and that's bullshit. So then, the people who may have an opportunity to, actually, get break it or get close to it or whatever, are at the top of the lineup. You know, leading off or batting second, and then the people behind are the ones that are getting all the RBIs. So I think this one has no shot of ever being broken. Number 9, Hack Wilson, 191 RBIs in one season. Number 8, Michael Phelps, 28 Olympic medals. Now, as you can see, that's a whole lot of medals, and he is our most decorated Olympian of all time. Now, could you possibly think there might be somebody who might come by and would have the opportunity to break, those medals? Well, possibly, yes, but they would have to be in swimming, It would have to be in like track and field or something like that, you know. And I'm just not sure if anybody can do that nowadays, especially when these other events are so like you know it's not like basketball where the Americans in both the men and the women should win because we have the best players, at least the best. We create the best team, right? These other nations have great swimming teams and people and great track and fields and people like that. So it's just not going to be America. And then even if you think about like the Winter Olympics as well, it's the same thing there. You know, so I don't know if they're going to be there's going to be a person, um, U.S. or even in the world that will ever you know, come around and be able to go to 4 Olympics like he did. 'Cause I guess I'm now looking at the picture. There are of his 28 medals. There are like 4 different um, tags that go around it. So over 4 Olympics, 28 medals. That's about 7 medals per year or per Olympics. I just don't think there's nobody in the world that's ever going to do that. So number 8, Michael Phelps, his 28 Olympic medals. Number 7, Barry Bonds, 120 intentional walks in one season. This won't be broken for a myriad of reasons. One, nobody, I don't ever think, will ever get as locked in as Barry Bonds was. Barry Bonds seemed to be locked in so much during that run, like 2001 to like 2004, 2005, whatever it may have been, where he was just locked in and you didn't want to throw him a pitch because you knew it was going to go a long way. And so they walked him 120 times in one season. That was amazing. And going back to what I said earlier, the pitchers are now throwing so hard and things like that I don't think there's any pitcher, I don't think there's any manager that will, even if somebody did get locked in, would say, well, my pitcher who throws 99 and can place it on the corner is going to, is going to just walk him. Because that just ain't going to happen. So, yeah, this is one that is just, I don't think no one will ever come close to these many intentional walks in one season. I can guarantee you that. Number 7, Barry Bonds, 120 intentional walks in one season. Number 6, Wilt Chamberlain, 100 points in a single game. Now, even though Kobe Bryant came close, was 81, 19 points away, still, I think we live in another age where I just don't think this is going to ever come close because I don't know if you're ever going to have somebody with the talent and the ability to just put the bucket in the basket as a Kobe Bryant that will play on a team where there's not 2 or 3 other people that could, put the put the ball in the bucket like he could, right? Because we're even though hopefully we're getting away from uh, the um, the era of the super team and going back to just building a team. We still have a lot of things, but we still have multiple multiple guys playing with multiple other stars. We still have that, and I don't know if we're ever going to get to a point where we have a star player playing with people who are lesser than. I would just say that lesser than. And again, have the ability of Kobe Bryant to put the basket in the basket. I don't think if somebody has, and I keep wanting to say, put the bucket in the basket. I have to stop. I have to stop you saying that because I'm using it wrong. But put the ball in the hoop. Um, I don't know if they ever want to, be with a team like that. You know, I don't know if they ever want to be like on that team where it's that's the way it goes. You know, so I don't think that's ever gonna happen. That's the only way you're gonna get somebody to score 100 points in a single game in this era is for them to be, you know, that type of scorer, and then being on a team where the other players aren't that type of scorer. There is no other player that is that type of scorer. And I think because when that does happen, they want to leave. They want to go get away from there. You know, because they want to win. They want to win championships. They want to do their legacy. So that is what it is. So number 6 on the list of top 10 records that will never be broken. Wilt Chamberlain's 100 points in a single game. Number 5, Pete Rose 4,256 career hits. Again, this is, you know, baseball has this thing here, and this is just what it's going to be. Because I don't know if you're ever going to have somebody who can play 20 to 25 seasons and get, the 150 or whatever hits needed over that time to get to 4,000, over 4,000 hits. Because again, like I was saying, you can just look at the specialization with things like that. The way they ask hitters to, be more power hungry than to be, maybe more of a timely hitter. You know, I can remember, Jose Altuve was a leadoff hitter, and Houston Astros said, no, don't be a leadoff hitter. Go ahead and be a power hitter, and ask him to hit for more power. And it for a little while that didn't work for him, but I guess he did come around, and I don't think he's still like a major power hitter, but he can hit 20 home runs, especially with that short porch in left field down in Houston, of being a right-handed hitter. But I just think that's the way it is. You should, let the people do what's best for them. I mean, what did they say about Ichiro? Ichiro could, you know, obviously, Ichiro could obviously hit. He could hit for power if he wanted to. He could some people even say he could hit a home run every time he was at the bat if he wanted to. That's how good of a hitter he was. But he decided to be, you know, more of a slap type hitter and more of a base hitter and get on base through the hits, things like that. So that's why you gotta love Ichiro. So yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna come close to 4,256 career hits. So that's Pete Rose's record, for the rest of time, unless they drastically change baseball. This is another thing. All of these baseball records, unless they drastically change baseball, yeah, they really are never going to get broken. So, number 5 on the list of the records that never be broken, Pete Rose and his 4,256 career hits. Number 4, Cal Ripken Jr. 2,632 consecutive games played, and it's a normally repeat, but yes. Once again, I think the game has definitely changed. Guys don't play 162 games anymore. I mean, they just don't. They whether it's because of injuries, whether it's just because they want players to be more fresh, anything like that. So they give them days off, and they give them time off, and it's as a baseball fan, it is a little upsetting and frustrating that you don't really have guys like that who play like that anymore. And I would think that I heard something about Francisco Lindor, shortstop for the Mets. He has played like in every game since he became a Met, I believe. So and that's something nice to see. And he can be out there every day playing for the New York Mets. And I think that should be, I think there should be a guy, a star type player, a good player that can play every day. if they're not injured or if they're not hurt or something like that. You know, and that was a special thing about Cal Ripken. He played 2,632 consecutive games played, where I'm sure that he was hurt. He may have even been injured maybe during that time, or maybe he was just one of the lucky son of his bitches to ever play the game. And, and he did it. Not only did he break um, the record, was it Joe's record again, or was it somebody, Lou Gehrig? Yeah, he broke Lou Gehrig's record. You see in the background of 21, 31, 21, 81, whatever the record was for Lou Gehrig. But then he played like over 400 or 500 more games, before he actually sat down and didn't play. So it's an amazing record. Again, because of this era, won't ever be broken. Cal Ripken Jr., 2,632 games, consecutive games played. Number 3, Brett Favre, 297 consecutive games played. And let's put an asterisk on this. I should have put an asterisk on the thing I made up there that would have said quarterbacks, because I do think that there's a possibility that maybe a lineman, tight end, obviously kicker, punter, long snapper, you know, defensive backs even, that they could play more than 297 consecutive games played. But I think the reason why this is so, you know, this would never be broken is because Brett Favre is a quarterback. And all you need to do is look back at this past season in the NFL, where there were over 66 quarterbacks started games. 66 quarterbacks started games last year in the NFL, and that's due to the fact of not being, in injuries, not being effective, whatever, but mostly because of injuries. Over 66 quarterbacks played last year in the National Football League. So when you look at Brett Favre, that's the position that he plays. Again, you would have to be damn lucky. Eli Manning came close, but even then, this dumbass coach decided that it'd be better to go with someone else, and went to Geno Smith back when Geno Smith wasn't a better quarterback than he is right now, more productive and reasonable quarterback, or however you want to say it, reasonable. So yeah, it's just a quarterback is never going to play those many games consecutively again, and that is something that is going to be wild. So Brett Favre is number 3 with his record of 297 consecutive games played at the quarterback position. Number 2, Cy Young, 749 complete games, 511 wins. Now, this is where I talked about earlier, where I kind of cheated and I kind of put 2 into 1. I was going to do that with the number 1 record, and I'll let you know why I didn't in a minute. But yeah, so I put these together because it's kind of it's a pitching stat. So so I guess kind of just said, well, listen, it's both of these are just, again, he pitched in the 1800s, the late 1800s, and things like that. When that's what you did. As a pitcher, you pitched the whole game more than likely. That's what it did. There was no relievers. There was no closers back in the day. If you were a great pitcher, you pitched the entire game. Period. It didn't matter if you went through the lineup, 3 times or 4 times or 5 times. You pitched the whole damn game. And ironically, Cy Young never seemed to have an arm injury. There's never been any talk about Cy Young with an arm injury. So now I don't know. I don't know how hard he threw or what he threw or anything like that. But it makes sense, doesn't it? So yeah, I mean, listen, yeah, I mean, again, and we talked about it earlier. You know, the sensitivization of this game. You know, pitchers. You know, they want to take pitches out after they go through the order. You know, 2 times because apparently some stupid stat said that when the pitcher goes through the lineup the third time, there's more contact, there's more hitting, they get hit more and things like that. But it's whatever. Really, it really is just screwing the game up big time. It just really is. So, at least in my opinion. So, number 2, Cy Young, 749 complete games and 511 wins are a record that will never be broken. Honorable mentions: Byron Nelson, his 11 PGA Tour wins in a row. The only reason why I didn't put this on the list is because I think that we're seeing what Scotty Scheffler is doing right now. So I think there's a possibility that could be broken. The Boston Celtics, 8 consecutive NBA titles. Yeah, that is one that would never be broken without question. But I just thought the other ones were definitely not going to be broken. Jerry Rice, his 1,549 career receptions and 22,895 career receiving yards will probably never be broken. But again, we're now in a passing era. And if you come across a dominant receiver who can stay healthy, who can play along, because because here's one thing about Jerry Rice. I think Jerry Rice may have had 1, possibly 2 seasons where he caught 100 balls. Right? Receivers do that on a yearly basis now. They're good enough to catch 100 balls. And you play 15 years, you catch 100 balls, you're at the career receptionist, record. So I just think that's it. Wayne Gretzky in his 2,859 career points and his 9 MVP awards. See, that was the one. That was the one that I was having trouble with the 9 MVP awards. With Wayne Gretzky and with the Joe DiMaggio. I want to put that at I want to put either one at 10. I went with the hitting streak just because I do think that, as you see with Patrick Mahomes, he has an opportunity to get 9 MVPs. He's already got 2, right? And even though there can be voter fatigue, the way we see Patrick Mahomes, the way Patrick Mahomes play, if he doesn't fall off, he doesn't continue, he actually might win. He has a great shot of winning 9 MVPs in his career. And I also think that there were other people would be able to have the opportunity to do it as well. We already see Nikola Djokovic has 3 MVPs so far in his career in the NBA. Just so and baseball and everything like that could have somebody come around as well. So I do think there could be somebody who comes around and wins, 9 MVPs. I really do, or even more. And we'll be calling them the great one, I'm sure, as well as we call Wayne Gretzky the great one. As the career points, yeah, I mean that's something. That is one record that is broken. But again, I just thought the other ones were more likely to never be broken. And then, lastly, Nolan Ryan's 7 no-hitters. Yeah, I mean, that seems a lot, but again, like I've been mentioning in this video, you know, um, with the way the pitchers are specialized, it seems like there is no way that anybody is going to be able to pitch, 7 no hitters, especially when nowadays they take pitchers out when they have no hitters. I mean, there's a pitcher for the Astros. On the first day of the season, he pitched a no hitter, and a couple of weeks ago, he had a no hitter and he was taken out. So, is somebody ever going to get to 7 no hitters? I don't think so. However, I still think that is more likely to happen than the other 10 that I've given you so far. So those are the honorable mentions for the records that may never be broken. Some I think maybe, some I think we're not. But we'll just have to wait and see. But those are the honorable mentions. And now to number one. Number one, Wilt Chamberlain's 54.4 points per game in the 1961-1962 season. I believe this is also the same season where he averaged 27 rebounds per game. Now, I didn't put that on the game because it's number one. It's never going to happen. It just never is. Again, we talked about the 100 points a game. There's no one that's going to be able to score average 50 points a game, 20 points a game in a season. They're just not going to happen. Probably no one's going to average 27 rebounds in a season. Yeah, that's never going to happen as well. And yes, it's number one, and that's why it's number one. But here's my thing about this, right? Wilt played during a time where he was 7'1". The next tallest player in his league playing with him was Bill Russell. He was 6'9". And then the average height of the rest of the league was like 6'5". So, you know, like, you know, sure, it's effective. It's never going to be done again. But it's one of the reasons why I think he really is one of the most overrated players in sports history, not just basketball, sports history. And that's nothing to take away from. But I don't think he doesn't deserve to be on any top 10 list. He doesn't deserve to be, on maybe even in the top 15 list of basketball players. Just because of the era he played in. So, give him all the credit in the world. He's, he, I guess you could say, you shouldn't take it away from him because it's not his fault. He was 7'1" and the other people were 6'5". But again, I think to say that the only one that can really guard you is Bill Russell. I really don't think that we should, he's not something that we should be talking about as one of the all-time greats. But having said all of that, I just had to get that off my chest. His 1961 to 1962 season where he scored 50 points a game, that will never happen in NBA history ever again. And that's why it is number one on the list of records that will never be broken. All right, guys, there you have it. The top 10 records that will never be broken. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about my top 10 list. Were there any records that I missed? Let me know down in the comment section as well. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Also down in the description box are links to all of my podcasts, to my new Discord server, where you can go ahead and if you if for some reason, you don't, the notification bell doesn't work for you, there is some problems with that on YouTube, I've been hearing. That, you click the notification bell, you still don't get the videos. Go to my Discord and join my Discord. My videos will come to that Discord. And sure, you can get notifications about that on your phone. So yeah, do that as well. And also, if you like what you see here, if you want me to be able to continue to do it, whether it's top 10 lists like this, whether it's other lists, whether it's all of my wrestling content, whether it is my podcasts, are now, at least one of them are now going to be uploaded to YouTube. So got one of the podcasts coming tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. So yes, if you like all of my content and you want to help support this. Not only should you do all of those things of liking the video and sharing the video and subscribing to the channel, apparently also if you just copy the link, that helps as well. You know, that helps with the algorithm as well. So you can do that. You don't have to put it anywhere, but you can just copy the link. When you want to hit out there, join my Patreon. Again, that link is also in the description box down below as well. So make sure you go ahead and do that. And when I get to enough Patreons, I will be able to do things like play the video game of your choice on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/AJTRIP20. It's a new link. I will be able to do a podcast about what topic that you would like on the Word According to Me. And I will also be doing a video, again, of your choice here on my YouTube channel. So make sure you go ahead and sign up to become a patron. Alright guys, thanks again one more time for watching the video. I appreciate it so much. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.